What's up, my guy?
What's up, brother in Christ?
My Jesus baby boy.
You have your cross in the corner.
I have the baby Jeebus always looking at just always there, just in case.
Yeah.
We have a very special episode today, boys and girls. Instead of telling you why today's special, I'm just gonna go ahead and show you. We are doing the first 2 episodes of Dave, the hit television show Dave. FX,
FXX.
and FXX. And you might be asking, why are you doing this show? Well, let me just show you really quickly.
We have new technology.
Oh, yeah, we do. Here we go.
Here we go.
That's Lil Dicky.
Trying to bring back the old school flow, like, my name's Dave, and I'm here to say.
Joking!
Pull the beat up. Welcome to the tour.
This your first tour. You supposed to go hard.
This is the biggest event of the year, man.
I'm Allie.
Listen, no shitting on the bus. You shit.
It's okay when we get to the good part.
Okay.
Is the audio cutting in and out?
How is the
Yeah, but it's
search
not
for
going to
love
when it's-
going?
I mean, I had such high hopes. This was supposed to be like the romantic climax of life. This is the Scroll Guard. It is an STD preventative tool.
Oh, wow.
You look great.
I feel so
There we
protected.
go.
I'm so happy that I get to see America
My
for what it
God.
is.
You're like my favorite rapper.
Is that me?
It's concrete.
This is not making the show look as good as it is.
How do you resist him?
I don't give a shit about the show. You're going to see why.
Because I'm with him every day.
Welcome to the Met Gala.
Need some adversity, dog. Bro, you fall down 7 times, you get up 8.
Why would I have to get up 8 times if I've only fallen down 7? The math doesn't even add up.
We just gotta control him.
I don't have any control over Dave.
Tour is just the one time where there's no deadlines. I can just live life to the F. I can just live life to the F.
Oh, God damn it. I gotta get it. No. No, God damn it. Wait. Let me get it. I got this.
Oh my God.
Wait, no. Here we go. There it is.
Wow, I look so cranky. Alright, so we're fumbling with new technology aside, and the lowest res is that just because of streaming, or is that because of the quality of downloads at?
I think it's just because it's streaming live. Like, it's
Okay.
recording. Hopefully, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is probably not going to look nowhere near as good. Wait.
Okay. Oh, wow. We got all kinds of tricks today. So, Dave season 3,
Yes.
it premiered last Wednesday. Episode 3 coming out tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then Thursday on Hulu. It's so aside from being on the show, it's one of the best shows on TV. And the way that everybody on the show described it is the best show that not enough people are seeing, because it is. You would not expect. So it's made by Jeff Schaffer and Kevin Hart and a bunch of really super funny people, and so you expect it to be super goofy, and like you expect it to be, kind of like any of the other sort of like stand-up shows, or like the shows where they just follow somebody, but like Louis, that kind of vibe. But it's great. I mean, you've seen the first 2 seasons, right?
Yeah. I saw the first and a half. There's a noise in the background, like scratching.
It's my dog.
Oh. But wow, we're off to a roaring fucking start.
Yeah, we're off to the races.
But yes, I've seen the first season and a half. I didn't finish the second season, but I started watching the third.
Yeah, it's for some reason it's not like seen enough, but I binged the whole first 2 seasons like in a couple days, and then I rewatched them. It's so heartfelt. It's so funny. It's so uncomfortable.
So cringe.
It's very cringy. You can see
Yeah.
kind of the Curb Your Enthusiasm influence in a lot of places. There's a lot of improv. It's not what you would expect it to be.
Okay.
The end.
Okay. Well, that was our episode, guys.
Yeah.
No, it's honestly, I love how different the character. What?
Let me see.
I love how, like, first of all, how short the episodes are. Those 30-minute episodes, they cram so much stuff into it. I feel like every episode, you go through all the emotions. You're like, oh, that's cool. Oh, that's so cringe. Why is he doing that? Like, oh, that's so heartfelt. And so they literally do give you all those like roller coaster of emotions. I watched the first 2 episodes yesterday. And which one was the first one? Was because I remember the second one very well.
Texas.
What was that?
Texas.
That's right, Texas. That's right. Which is funny because it's also how crazy, like, it's crazy to like see how his mind works in the show. Like when he wears that like condom underwear. You're like, who fucking thinks of this? Why? And part of me wants to, like, well, is thinking like, do you think he's kind of like that in real life? You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's definitely a neurotic person in real life. The show definitely paints him out to be an asshole, and he's aware of that. Not like that at all in real life. Actually, very amicable and cares about everybody a lot. Just cares about shooting and getting everybody home at the end of the day, like as soon as we can. Definitely not that much of a diva. Maybe there's a part of him that like feels like he is all the time, or there's times where he was, but definitely not like that in my experience.
Yeah. I like the first episode of Texas. I thought it was fun. Like, I thought it was the twist at the end with the girl. I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
Right. Where, like, you know, he goes. So basically the theme of this season, it seems to be like he's trying to find love. Right. It's his first tour. He's sleeping with all these women, but he doesn't want to just have sex with them. You know, because he's very paranoid on getting an STD. I feel like that's it, like an STD or getting pregnant, which is, I feel like, a very, very like everybody can relate, very relatable to people. You know, I mean, at least when I was younger, that was me. Like, I can't remember how many times I had like a one night stand or whatever, and then the next day being like, what if I got an STD? What if I got a pregnant? Like, it's terrifying. Of course, this show takes it to a whole different level. I like how I love how different he is from his surrounding cast. Like Anderson Tino, which is really, he usually plays the asshole and all that stuff. And even though he kind of does in the show, he's usually not the biggest asshole.
He's just very abrasive. He's always abrasive in whatever role he plays.
Yeah. And then Gaeta's just a sweetheart.
Yeah, Gaeta's the man, dude.
Yeah, he's so cool. But I like that he finds this girl at this bar that Gaeta's supposed to perform, but everybody's a little dicky, and they bring him up, and you could see Gaeta being like, I want this night to be about me, but you know.
That's also he premiered his song. That's his real song, and he premiered it the next day, called
really?
Too Many Women. Yeah.
Shit.
So that's a real song. And part of me is wondering, because they start the whole episode with that music video. I wonder if they're going to release like an album at the end of it, and that's like the shadow drop. Because the show has a lot of music in general, but none of the songs are like actual on albums he's released. They released We Good from season 2, but like all of it is made up for the show. That it didn't exist before the show.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
I mean, he probably had it somewhere or ideas for it or something somewhere, but they're not like from his normal albums, I guess.
Oh shit! Is the song that he's playing at the beginning of Texas, is that also a real song, or is it just for the show?
That's for the show. I mean, it's
Okay.
good enough to be a real song.
Yeah. So I thought that was cool. The music is really good. I mean, his music is great. Gato's song was also really cool. I really enjoyed it. I think it's really cool that they're like throwing his real music to promote it even more. So I think that's really cool. I also think it's cool that so at the end when he meets this farm girl, and he's flirting awkwardly with her, and she's like, "I don't know who you are." And he's like, "I prefer it that way." He's like, "Well, we're going to my friend's Daryl." I forget what the fuck his name is, but like, my friend Daryl's house. You should come, Connor, something like that. Whatever, some Texas ass name. And I thought it was funny when they go into the house, because I've been to so many of those kind of parties where you're like, where's everybody? Why is it only us and like 4 other dudes? Right. And I think that it's really like a cool, like a cute little thing where you're like, oh, this is cool. The one thing that made me a little nervous is when they asked Little Dicky if he wanted to do Molly, because I thought he was gonna say yes, like he was gonna get pressured into doing it, and I really didn't want to see that. Like I was like, I can't handle this much cringe with the Molly. The actors were great, by the way.
Did you like that long-haired guy?
Yeah, dude.
I was like, oh man, if Ryan was an actor, he's one of our friends. He's probably listening. I was like, man, he would have been so good at that.
100%. And then the girl passes out, which is weird because they didn't portray her to be that drunk. But then she passes out, and then the guy goes like, "Man, that sucks. Like her whole goal was to have sex with you tonight." Right? Which is a cool twist, because it's like, oh, she was lying to him the whole time just to get in his pants. But then they all want to see his dick because he talks about it, and then they all try like ripping his clothes off, and I was like, are they just gonna rape Little Dicky, bro?
I just thought it was so like that whole moment was so heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And like him, like I can't ever have real friends or real interactions with people. It was, I don't know how this show manages to capture this a lot in a lot of the episode, but something can be so tragic and so funny at the same time, like just so gut-wrenching and horrible, like this, like them ripping his pants off, and yet at the same time like running around in the
little condom thong.
Yeah, that I was like, that's the funniest shit I've ever seen, and I also want to cry so bad.
Well, exactly, because like his face when she hears about this girl, he's like, and then he tells you this beautiful thing of like, I just want to find love, like that's my main goal in life.
Yeah,
and
then they're like, just treats me differently.
Let me see your dick. It's like, yeah.
That's scary. And him like him running out of the house, and the other party goers are there, and when he does like, oh, she's, and then he just sprints off.
Yeah, and they go, is that Little Dicky?
Yeah.
And where he goes to the guy with the shotgun, and he's like, I'm Little Dicky, and like the only person ever that wants him to recognize him doesn't recognize him.
I thought that was Mark Sipka for a second. And then
he would have been good at that.
He would have been good in that. So he's in the first episode. Mark Sipka is one of our friends. But they cut out a lot of his stuff. Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh, that sucks.
So whenever Emma is doing her documentary and there's like the beer guys, you can see him. He's like in the corner of the frame, and you can hear him yelling. He does like one of his Mark Sipka voices. I was like, damn it. But it was cool. I got excited either way. And then the concrete, the head of his, when it just cracks on the floor, like the same thing. Like that's so like it makes you feel so bad, and it's so fucking funny at the same time. I don't know how they do that.
I love the way they ended that episode with him. Like all this terrible shit happens, and then he just takes that masseuse lady to be like, Mija,
Yeah.
and he's like, and then just gives him the perfect hand job, and you can see his like release from everything that happened in that episode just go away.
Well, she was trying to warp his dick.
Yeah.
He was asking her to like not work, but like because he said it's curved.
Straighten it up.
Yeah,
but but she's not understanding what he's saying. But he's like, I know, like I know what I'm doing.
It's like, whatever.
And you can and then she starts doing it, and you can just see him like kind of like all the stress and all this crazy shit that happened just start like slowly just drifting away.
They do that a lot in a lot of the endings where they're almost these like Twilight Zone-y, like weird, absurd nightmare endings like that, where like it feels so like what is happening, but in a mysterious, weird way. And I like that. I like that about the show.
It feels real and it doesn't at the same time. I feel like Dave is the exaggerated version of a lot of artists. Or a lot of creatives, at least.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's a very exaggerated version of like us trying to find love. Oh, I thought I had a stain. Oh, you like my shirt? I got pants and shirts from Costco.
Oh yeah, you were telling me that yesterday.
This whole outfit, bro, $40.
Wow. Let's see your pants. Stand up.
Huh?
Let's see your pants. Stand up. You got pants, right?
What if I'm just naked?
Yeah. You wouldn't be lying about your pants, would you?
I'm wearing that condom thong.
Yeah. We gotta wear costumes in one of these episodes.
Oh yeah.
Sorry,
we'll do it for
chicharrones before this.
Did you really?
Yeah, I got chicharron burps.
Oh, the chicharron burps?
Yeah. I got the kind with meat on it. Like, not just the skin, but like the carnudo ones that have the meat on that. Oh.
From where?
Vallarta.
Oh, okay. Man, I forgot about Vallarta.
It's nice.
Yeah. Do you want to
tell us about this Costco outfit?
No, it's really funny because every time I go into Costco, because I'm trying to eat healthier, I'm trying to lose some weight, and it's always so hard for me to go to go to Costco and not get that pizza.
Oh yeah.
Like,
well, whenever you go, get the rotisserie chicken now.
Oh, that's right. And they're cheap. They're really cheap. Yeah.
Yeah. And they're good for you. I mean, there's a lot of salt, but
and a lot of fat. But
if you take the skin off, eat the chicken breast, that's gold, baby.
Yeah. When I was dating my ex-girlfriend, she would give me so much shit because I put Costco pizza up with the big boys. I fucking love Costco pizza.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'll put it up there with fucking, whatever local pizzeria you have in your home. I'm like,
yeah.
And a lot of people, it's a big controversial feeling, but I fucking love me some Costco pizza.
I'll take a Costco over any delivery spot.
Yeah.
Like, it's cheaper, it's bigger, and it's better.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, maybe not local spots for sure, but any like Pizza Hut, Domino's, Little Caesars.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I do love me some Pizza Hut, but Costco pizza, there's just something about it that just slaps.
I think the value also places it higher. Like the cost of it is also but it ultimately ends up So how do you feel about Costco pizza versus Sam's Club pizza?
I've never had Sam's Club pizza.
Well, it's not as good.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks for
I
answering.
don't think so.
But yeah, and then I got on Kill Tony again.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Do you want to talk about it now?
Oh, you didn't.
Want to take him
So
over? Huh?
Sal hasn't told me anything about his Kill Tony second appearance.
So it was on at the Comedy Mothership, and so it's like we're all waiting to just in perspective to how it happens and why it's so different than the last time. One, you're in the back alley the whole time. Like, you're not listening to the show. You're not in the room. You're outside in an alley with 100 comics.
And you've done this before, but you haven't gotten on yet. You've been
not
in
on the Mothership.
Yeah.
Yes. So you're just talking with your friends in the back alley. Everybody brings lawn chairs, and we just fucking shooting the shit, you know? And then they have a speaker outside. And then when Tony's about to pull out a name, they'll turn on the speakers, and you hear Tony go like, and up next, Sal DeSantos, right? And so you go from like talking to your friends to all of a sudden you're about to get in one of the biggest stages in comedy, right? So I'm talking to my friend. They call my name. I'm like, oh shit! So I have to get up, put all my because you have to take off your phone, wallet, everything out. Then they scan you with a wand to make sure you don't have weapons or anything. And then you go. I mean, it's Joe Rogan's Club. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of crazy people that go on the show. And then you go up like some stairs and then go down the hallway and then you go into a curtain and you're fucking there. It's like it used to be a movie theater, so it's like it's this tall, long room. And you have tiny little space, right? Like usually the guest will be to your left and like they're far enough to like where there's like a good distance where there's a point where I fist bump the guest. I'm that close to them. I have, by the way, I have no clue who he was. I'm not saying that he's not important. I'm not important. I'm just saying I didn't recognize who he was. A lot of comics didn't know who he was. Somebody gave me a name, but I don't think that's him because I Googled it and it didn't look like him.
I guess we'll find out when they post it.
Yeah. So my minute went well. The crowd was a little weird, but I was getting the laughs at every punchline and everything. I think it went fine.
Why were they weird?
So because I didn't see before. I know somebody told me that was in the audience that apparently the guy before me ate the biggest fucking shit.
Oh, so they were like not ready.
Right. So I come out here with like a real set and real jokes. So I kind of warmed them back up and brought them back up. So, but my minute was fine. I'm happy with the minute. And then the interview was fine. There was like nothing crazy. I was kind of nervous because the guest was roasting me a little bit, but nothing crazy. I was laughing in or whatever.
Yeah.
The only cringy thing that happened was Tony didn't recognize me at first, I think, because he was like asking me the same questions. He asked me where I worked. I was like at Kirby Lane. And he goes like, "Oh, that's right. You're a waiter there." I was like, "Yeah." And then he asked me about my relationship. Like, "Hey, do you have a girlfriend or what's your?" And I was like, "I had one. I broke up." And he's like, "Why?" I was like, "Well, it was a long distance." And he's like, "Where does she live?" And I go, "She lives in Dallas." And he goes, "Oh, a whole 2.5 hours away." I was like, yeah, dude. It's like, look, the truth is, she's 23, I'm 31. It's a complete different thing. And then the guy's like, "Hey, yeah, dude." And I was like, "Hell yeah, dude." But the cringy thing was like, Tony asked me where we met, and I told him like I work at a restaurant, and the guest goes, "Oh, what? You work at Chuck E. Cheese or what?" And I was looking at him, and then I looked at the audience, and I went, "Yeah, she's the rat," and it didn't get anything. It's dumb. And the guest was like, "Did you just fucking look at the audience to fucking try to get a laugh and it just didn't hit?" I was like, "Yeah." So I was like, "Yeah, that was my bad." And then I was like, "I'm just kidding. She's actually phenomenal. Like, she's great." And he's like, "Ooh," and I was like, "Yeah, she's great. It's fine." So that was the only cringy thing that happened. But the cool thing that happened, at the very end, he goes like, "Well, do you have any hidden talents, anything like that?" And I was like, "I really like to sing." And he goes, "Oh, really? What's your go-to song?" And I was like karaoke? He goes, "Yeah." It's like in Spanish or English. He goes, "Whatever." And I knew that he was gonna make me sing it. And I know he was gonna have the band to play it. So the song that I thought that like, oh, I said "Creep" by Radiohead because I know they were gonna be able to play it, and I knew that I knew the words. So I was like "Creep." So the band, Tony goes like "Creep band" in 3, 2, 1, like that quickly, and the band started playing "Creep." And I started singing it, and everybody was like "Whoa!" And then like when we get to the first verse, but I'm a creep, the whole crowd is singing with me. So I have the whole crowd singing with me, and everybody's like, "Wow!" like singing, and like I'm singing with the crowd. And then he goes like, "It's all about the contest," and that's how I end my set. So it was like a cool little end to it.
That's a good moment.
Yeah. So
that's gonna make you look good too.
Yeah, I didn't get Secret Show again, but I did get that this little gun right here.
What gun?
So you see that box right here, the long one?
No, I can't see past a certain amount.
Oh, you can't see my finger?
Hold on. Maybe if I do that. Oh, now I can see it.
Okay, so you see this long gun?
Yeah.
So that's a response. That's what I got the first time I got on, and then that little gun right there, I got that yesterday.
What is this? Like a Nerf gun?
It shoots gel pellets.
Oh, cool! Give me one.
Yeah. So I haven't opened them, but apparently they're really cool. There was this guys playing with it in the alley. One of the guys that got in, they were playing with it, and they hit one of my friends in the eye, and my friend goes, "Motherfucker! I've told you so many times to stop doing this. Come on, fucking asshole!" Like starts yelling in the alley. Everybody shuts the fuck up. The cop is just looking over there. He goes like, "Man, fuck you, man! No!" And he's like yelling, and then he has to walk away. And he comes back later. He's like, "Hey, what's up, man?" I was like, "Are you okay?" He was like, "Yeah, I just got really angry." So yeah, so I got on Kill Tony again. Honestly, man, like it didn't feel as good as the first time that I was in at Vulcan, but I mean, I was nervous when I was on the main stage in the interview. The minute was fine. I was losing my breath a little bit when I did the minute because like when you go up the stairs
this time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because somebody had told us that like you walk in, you go up the stairs, and you're right there. That's what they said.
Mm-hmm.
So I started. I was like, all right, cool. So I started going up. Now your heart is racing because you're about to step into the biggest stage in fucking comedy right now, right? At Vulcan, you're watching the whole time, you're listening, you just go straight and you're there, right? Here, you haven't seen the show, you're not hearing anything that's happening, you've never been inside, you know? So I go up, and then right away, it's the fucking, I see a curtain, and I open it, and then they go, no, that way. And I was like, what? And there's like another hallway that I have to go through. And I was like, what the fuck?
Oh, wow.
So the lady's already holding the light, so I have to like catch up to her. So I'm kind of running a little bit to catch up to her. And then they open the curtain, and I walk out, and everybody starts cheering, and I'm like, hey. And then I do the Gordo bit, the chef Gordo bit.
Yeah. I thought Nikki was behind me in the room back there. So I just saw a face peek out from the kitchen, and it just scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Oh my god, okay. So you did the Gordo bit?
Yeah, the chef Gordo bit, and it did well. It did really well. Honestly, it's also weird because that room is so long and so tall that a lot of the laughs, kind of, you know what I mean? So it's very spaced out.
Disappear into the ether.
Kind of. You can definitely, like at Vulcan, it was cool because it's a square surrounding you, so all the laughs are hitting you in the face.
Yeah.
But here it's a long, tall, and so the laughs are like more spaced out, so you don't hear them as much, you know. But it was good. I think it went well.
It sounds like it did.
Yeah, hopefully.
We've seen when it goes bad, and it is not pretty.
Oh, there was a really funny part where because I was telling, Tony, I was like, oh yeah, like, I'm a little broke right now, and I need a second income, and I started working at Sunset Strip, and so they all clap for Red Band because he's part owner, and Tony goes like, so technically, Red Band is your boss. And I was like, yeah. And then Revan goes like, yeah, take off your hat. And I just had a hat on, so I take off my hat. And then the guy goes like, yeah, apparently you need money and hair. And I was like, all right, put my hat back on. Yeah. But yeah, Red Band though, like when I was talking about my situation and everything, like with money, and like they asked me like, well, because Tanya's like, oh, how many roommates do you have? It's like, I live by myself. And he goes like, why do you live by yourself? And I was like, because I knew that if I got in a place by myself, that I was gonna have to work harder. And then people started clapping. But, so
that's cool.
Yeah. So I don't think it went bad, dude. I don't think. Well, I want to say it wasn't as memorable as the first time, but apparently the first time wasn't as memorable to Tony. So,
Hey, just get on a third time. You're doing good so far, I think.
I didn't think about this, but I went up on stage 3 times yesterday. So
you were busy.
Yeah, at Sunset they do a minute mic before to Kill Tony, which I'll never do again because there's like nobody there. But I did like a 1 minute that I wanted to try out, and then I got up on Kill Tony, and then after I did the mic at Sunset, and I'm thinking that that I might do my brownies and downies bit for my third.
Oh God!
Appearance. Yeah.
Try it. Just try it. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I think I can make it work. But yeah, all right. The second episode, right?
No, let's talk about Church's Chicken now. The real good news. True success.
I have a callback for a Church's Chicken commercial tomorrow.
That's unironically one of my dreams because Vicky Boone. Shout out to Vicky Boone. She's like one of the biggest casting directors in Texas. She's cool,
and she always calls me for commercials and TV shows.
Well, she always casts Church's Chicken commercials too. I've read for them. You've read for them. She casts a lot of Church's Chicken commercials. It's like a seasonal thing. It's like, oh, it's Church's Chicken commercial time. So I'm glad that I haven't gotten called back for one of those. So you got called back for the coveted Church's Chicken commercial.
Yeah, I got called back for you ready?
Yeah.
Let me
Did you read for it, or did she just go straight to callback again?
No, I read for it.
Okay.
I got called back for the for the Tio at the barbecue.
Yeah. now she knows your type. It's like if there's a type for Sal in the entertainment industry, it's Theo at a barbecue. That's who you are.
Well, yeah, until I lose weight. If I lose weight, then maybe not. But right now,
you could be Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal. There it is. I just need them to put hair on me.
Whenever you're in Hollywood, you know how many like actors you look at them before they're famous and like, oh, they definitely got a hair transplant.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna get a hair transplant as soon as I, get a decent amount of success.
Dude, yeah. So I mean, hopefully I get it. It's an okay amount of money. It's nothing crazy, but it's okay. I could definitely use it. So yeah, that's what I'm doing tomorrow.
Yeah. So what do you have to do? Give us your line.
Nothing. I just have to pretend to be at a barbecue.
Oh, that's so you just go. Mijo!
Okay. Javier, bájate, Javier. Mijo, mijo, mirror.
Yeah.
They're gonna give me a trans Bud Light can. I'm gonna go. Ugh.
Yeah.
Give me a Tecate.
Yeah, baby.
So yeah, that's the fuck I'm doing. Did you hear from your stuff, from your call?
Hell no, dude.
Oh no.
I'm wish. Sorry. I was so sad. I mean, it's likely over because usually pretty quickly.
Especially with TV. Movies, it can be a while, but TV usually pretty quickly.
Yeah, if you're not getting at least a call back like the day after it's due or that day, that afternoon, it's over.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's weird, but that's the exception, not the rule.
Well, I'm sorry.
On to the next one.
Yeah. And that's what you got to learn, boys and girls. If you want to get into the industry, you're going to audition 1,000 times, and most likely you'll get 2 to 3 jobs in those 1,000 times you audition. That's just the way it is. And hopefully one of them will propel you to the next job, and so on and so forth until you're someone known. But even then, this is a lonely, lonely business.
Relationships, people.
Relationships. Find your relationship. Don't be fake. Everybody can smell like a fake ass bitch, even in Hollywood.
Sometimes people can.
But nobody lasts. Nobody. Here's the thing: you can get something by being fake, but I don't think a lot of things last.
Yeah.
You know. Do you want to talk about the second episode?
Let's. I always want to talk about Dave. Anytime I'm anywhere, people are like, "We need your ID." I'm like, "No, Dave."
Dave.
Season 3. Watch episode 3 tomorrow.
You're in episode 5, you said, right?
I'll be in 5, yeah.
Okay.
I did an ADR session for the first time this morning for that.
Oh shit, for Dave. How did that go?
It was good. I've never done ADR before.
Is it like where the thing where they give you the light, dee dee dee, and then you start?
Yeah, it's just like if you've seen
Just like an angel. Your skin
wow,
makes
Creep,
me
full
cry.
circle. So if you've ever seen it in a movie, it's like they'll have the scene up on a big screen, and then you have like a tiny little podium in the middle of this dark room, and then you have a light on a script, and then you got a guy in the booth like, okay, so we just need to do this. All right, we'll give it, and then give me that, and it was cool. It was easy.
Do they pay you the day rate?
I don't know. I don't know what the pay is, honestly. It's union. They made me sign like union papers, like a SAG sheet or something. I was just like, oh, this is cool. And then I can't post it anywhere, but the sign-in sheet was cool. It had Patton Oswalt was there earlier.
Who?
Patton Oswalt.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And then what's his name?
They let you take a picture of it?
I just took a picture of it, but I can't. Nobody will ever see it. I can't post it anywhere. Hamish Linklater, who was in Midnight Mass, he's the priest in that. He's in a bunch of stuff. He's so good. I was like, oh shit, he was there earlier. And then there's a bunch of people on there that I'm like, they're probably somebody, but I don't know.
Patton Oswalt, that's cool. I wonder what he's doing there.
I don't know. It could be anything.
I wonder what he's doing there. Yeah.
It looks like all kinds of different shows. Like you have to write what show it is, but I have no idea what they are. I didn't take a picture of that on purpose.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah, my boy.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Manny, heck yeah.
All right, what did you think of the second episode?
What was that? Oh, that was the shoot one, right? The music video one? Yeah. Man, that was stressful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Relatable, too.
Yeah, because we've all been in, like, sets. Well, I mean, not we all, but, like, we've been in sets where you're, like, you know, everybody's stressing out and everybody's trying to get this done. And, like, you know, and they're like, well, fuck, like, we don't have time. We got to get permits. We got to do all this stuff. And so it's, like, a whole thing. And then, but it's cool how they like in between all that stress, they put this cool, like sensitive story of. Oh, sorry, I thought I was hearing something. Of like him and his like first love. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a real nice guy story.
Yeah.
Like he thought he was the victim in it, and then.
Yeah, and it's like, we were fucking 16, dude. Like, what did you expect, man? Like, I wasn't trying to be a dick to you. Like, I loved you. Like, it was cool and all that stuff. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that one hit hard.
And she was great.
Yeah. You recognize her from Evil Dead?
No.
That's the lead in the remake. That's Jane Levy.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Speaking of this, remind me to talk about some of the horror trailers that are coming up because I've seen a couple of really good ones.
We have a couple good episodes coming up. Good little movies
Yeah.
that we got to review. Like a lot.
Movies and boobies. And then yes, that whole scene with the cum in his pants. So awkward.
That was killing me.
The other thing is like the kid who's like, "Yeah, you're gonna give me so much pussy or whatever." Like those kids exist in Hollywood. Like it's just like, oh my god, that's the fucking worst.
Yeah.
What do you think of the episode?
Man, I thought it was like a if you want to know what it can be like on like the worst kind of sets, that's what it is. So for anybody who doesn't want to watch the episode because they refuse, which you shouldn't because it's a good show. It's Lil Dicky shooting a music video in his hometown, so he's in Philly. And they're shooting at his parents' house. His parents are like complaining about like all the people in the house and the tape on the walls, and like everybody's asking him a million questions. He's walking from place to place. They did a lot of like one shots, which is cool. So it's this like people walking by the hallways in his childhood home are tight, so like people are scooting past each other. They're on a time crunch. Yeah, his mom like is she chokes on her hearing aid, like she accidentally eats it. So she's just like, he's like, what the fuck is going on? Like this, and the bad shoots are like that, like, and they just compound on themselves for whatever reason.
It's like a domino effect. One thing starts going wrong, then everything begins to get delayed, and everything just starts falling on each other.
Yeah, an actor shows up and he's inaccurate to what he looked like on tape. Like people, it's nonstop chaos. And then later in the episode, they're shooting at a restaurant, and the restaurant like pulls the rug out from them, and they're like, "Hey, you know, you actually have to be out 4 hours earlier than we said you did." And it's so stressful, and they managed to fit in like such a sweet, a heartbreaking storyline at the same time. Right. God, honestly, what a good show. Like you should see it.
But it's also cool that he kind of learns his lesson, because the ending to the music video is really nice.
Yeah, it's really
also,
sweet.
It's really funny when he's walking with all the kids, and then this big ass kid comes next to him. I thought that was really funny.
Do you think so? Because this was like an insider sort of story, do you think people who don't know movies and shoots like that would care? Do you think they're going to go, because obviously we found it interesting because that's what industry we're in, but do you think people who don't know is it going to be lost on them?
Yeah, because everybody can relate to the stress, right? Maybe not everybody can relate to being on a shoot, but everybody can relate on stress at your job, having a time crunch, having to do a lot of stressful things, being having to be the leader to be something, and like everything is crumbling. So everybody can relate to that. So I think that's what's good about this episode, because this episode is not about the shoot, right?
Yeah.
The shoot and the stress add to it, but this shoot is about little Dicky facing his past and realizing that he was being selfish this whole time, right?
Yeah.
Now, while telling that story, they raise the stakes because he's realizing this in the middle of having a fucking meltdown.
Yeah.
Because nothing is going right, which is why this show is so good, because they're able to because you're literally feeling what little Dicky is feeling.
Yeah. And he's not a diva. So in the episode, it makes him seem kind of like a diva in it. He's not a diva like that at all. So if you're worried about like, man, is this guy actually a dick? He's not. He's actually very chill.
He's a Dicky.
He's a Dicky, but he's not a Dicky.
Yeah, I thought it was really fun. It definitely gave me anxiety, but it was really good.
It goes by fast too. Like you go, oh shit, that was because it's like a 30-minute panic attack the whole time.
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, I thought so too.
What do you give it out of 10?
The first 2 episodes?
Of season 3.
A 9 out of 10.
Nice.
Yeah, they're not perfect. They are like to be like, oh my god, it's not the best television I've ever seen, but it's fucking good television. It's 27 minutes. It gives you a funny, stressful, fucking weird fucking story. You get to fall in love with the characters more. You get to like I really hope I get to see more of like Gata and like Santino and all that stuff more.
You will.
Because the first 2 episodes, it's very like Little Dicky oriented, which is great. But I would like a little break from all the stress and all that stuff with Gata and like with Santino and all of them. They're really, really fun people and really, really good actors. So I definitely it's definitely a bingeable show, but because like I said, the episodes are 30 minutes long. They're they're fun to watch. They're and they give you all the emotions you want from a TV show. They make you laugh, they make you cringe, they make you cry. So, what would you give
all
it?
you want in a TV show.
Yeah. What would you give it?
I would give it my Poncio must-watch award. First 2 seasons, absolutely, and then the start of this season, they had the 2-episode premiere on the first night. Yeah, it's such a good show. However, if you are somebody who's not into cringe comedy or like Nikki's family, they're a little more conservative, if you will. They're gonna think, oh, what is this? Like my grandpa watched this show, he would say, I think this is so sexual. And it doesn't need to have so much sexual stuff in it. Stop it. And honestly, the second season doesn't really have a whole lot. The first season, there's just 1 episode that's pretty rough, but everything else is like not sexual. This one just happened to start sexual.
But I think it's also starting sexual for a reason.
Yeah.
Like it's giving you like how he's getting laid in this tour, which is kind of like what he wanted at some point. But now he's like, I don't want this one night stands. Like I want to find love. So I think like that them showing them that sexual stuff is like it's for a reason.
Yeah.
I think the only one that I would see people saying that is when he comes on his pants on the little fake thing and the cock and everything. But other than that, I think everything else is justified.
It's not family friendly, but sometimes heavy subjects that we all have to deal with are not family friendly. And I think they're handled with care. It's not gratuitous.
Yeah, it's not.
Everything is handled for a reason.
Yeah.
Parks and Rec?
It's not Parks and Rec. Like, it's not like, oh, everybody can watch it. It's,
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying Parks and Rec is like constantly sexual, gratuitous.
Oh, no, it's not. It's not Parks and Rec. Like, it's not like
okay.
all your family can sit around and watch it kind of deal. But, yeah.
Or they can, depending on what kind of family you have.
That reminded me, sorry, about cringe and all that stuff. There was a comic yesterday at the open mic who, it was this black dude. And he had a very deep voice, and he was doing his comedy and very monotone, and the jokes were kind of hitting, but not really. And then he goes, this is how he said, he goes, this N-word, he actually said the word, he goes, this N-word, F-word, walks into a Jewish bar, and he just says like 8 slurs at once, and he goes, thank you. And everybody goes, what the fuck? Yeah.
Was it supposed to be funny?
I just think he did it like to be like, nobody's laugh. All right, there's N-word, F-word, D-word, C-word, walks into a bar, and everybody's like,
What did the interview say? What did Tony say?
No. This is at an open mic at the Sunset.
Oh no.
Yeah, I think they asked him to leave, but I'm not sure. I don't know. It was weird.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sometimes people like they bomb and they're like, "Fuck this, I quit."
I guess. Let me. Fuck. I gotta. I gotta find. Do you know? Have you seen that trailer for that new A24 movie where I think you sent it to me, or I think Zoe might have sent it to
Beau
me.
is Afraid.
Huh?
Beau is
No,
Afraid.
no. Where where the girl grabs the fake hand, and the spirits.
Is that coming out in April too?
I hope so. It looks great.
Dude, there's too many movies. So there's Evil Dead Rise comes out. Beau is Afraid, which is Ari Aster's third movie. It's getting great reviews, but it's 3 hours long.
I think it's called Streamline.
Okay, Streamline we gotta watch.
Wait. No, it's not.
Okay.
Oh, it's Talk to Me.
Okay, why is it called Talk to Me?
Because this girl talks to spirits.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's A24. It looks pretty creepy. Let me see. When does that come out?
Oh, did you see the Marvels trailer this morning?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, it comes out July 28th.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, Sagar, the Marvels. It's got Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, all the Marvels.
Marvel Table.
Marvel Table.
My favorite superhero.
Oh,
the fanciest of them all. What is Ari Aster's new movie?
Beau is Afraid.
Is it you said it's a comedy horror, right?
Yeah, it's a horror comedy horror. It's about a very paranoid guy, and he's doing something.
When does it come out?
April 21st.
April 21st.
It's the same day as Evil Dead Rise, so it's gonna be hard. We might just have to do an 2-hour episode.
Yeah. Or we can do 2 episodes that week.
Yeah, because that's gonna be hard.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be good.
And everything else.
Uh,
Well, I'm sure this is super entertaining for people to watch. Oh,
yeah, because we're talking
I
about
watch
the movies.
that George Foreman movie.
Oh yeah.
George Foreman, the miraculous story of the once and future heavyweight champion of the world.
I also want to watch Air.
I'm very into that.
Air and Dungeons and Dragons.
Too much stuff. Too much stuff.
There's so many good movies coming out. And then there's things like Mafia Mama.
Hey.
You know. For every John Wick, Dungeons and Dragons, and Air, there has to be a Mafia Mama.
Hey,
for all the Mafia Mamas out there. Hey, maybe. Maybe it's actually
Toni
hilarious.
Collette is great.
She is great. She's great. She's great in Hereditary.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we've talked all that we need to talk. Now we said we were gonna start doing like, do you recommend what shows or what movie? Is there a movie or a show that you want people to see that you're like, oh, you haven't seen this, you should.
We just watched the first 2 Back to the Futures.
Ugh. Is it Nikki's first time watching it?
Yeah.
How did you like it?
Second one definitely is not as good. The first one.
Third one.
Well, the first one is just one of the best movies ever made. The second one feels a little like, wow, this is. I mean, there's nothing I can say that hasn't been said before. That what are you, chicken bit? Like, what the fuck is it? Why are we doing this?
And crazy enough, I don't know if you know this, but 2 was actually supposed to be a long ass movie. Like 2 and 3 were supposed to be one big long movie.
Well, that's what I was saying to Nikki. Like, maybe it makes more sense when you put that into perspective, that it's supposed to be like a whole thing, like a whole event. But yeah, Dave, you gotta watch Dave. Kung Fu Hustle is gonna be we tried to watch that, but we had to go somewhere. That's one of my top 5 movies ever. That's my recommendation. Stephen Chow stars in and directs it. He's so good. One of the best movies ever made.
Heck yeah. I guess mine will be because they just won a bunch of Oscars, and when I left the theater, I thought it was one of the best movies that I've seen in the past 20 years. Would be Everything Everywhere All at Once. I love that movie. You know, top 10 in the past 20 years for sure.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah. So those are 2 recommendations. They're really, really funny. They're really, really great. Alex, it's always so much fun to talk to you and do
Always.
this. It's highlights of my week. For all those few Mijos and Mijetes out there, thank you for watching. Please continue watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. It doesn't bother you at all. It doesn't take anything from you. It gives everything to us. So please like and subscribe.
Leave your least favorite movie of all time in the comment.
Yeah, one of the worst movies down there, and then we might even have a once a week to watch one of the worst movies. So leave on the comment one of the worst movies you've ever seen, and then we'll give it a watch. All right, love you, my guy.
See you later, brother in Christ.
Bye.